Hey, Florida Beach Hunter here in the garden this morning with the lawn equipment running in the background, of course, as soon as I start to shoot video. This morning I'm going to dig into the self-watering container that has sweet potatoes that I planted about a year ago. And it doesn't look too promising at this point as far as yield, but we're going to tear into it and see what kind of potatoes that we grew in the container. So I've pulled back some of the foliage here so you can see the sweet potatoes under here, and they're looking really small. So this is the reason that I haven't harvested them before now. I mean, they've been in here but like a year, I believe. I'll have to check the date. But I have, as far as I can tell, there's two different kinds of sweet potatoes in here. There's this that I believe is the Beauregard variety, which is kind of the typical colored sweet potato, and then we have these white sweet potatoes. And the white sweet potatoes have this kind of a leaf. So deeply lobed leaves, kind of pointy. And the Beauregard has the more conventional shaped sweet potato leaves. So I'm going to try to set the camera up here so you can see as I tear this thing open. Probably just going to dump it out. Just go ahead and dump it out. Seems to be the easiest way to do it. There's the your part. And as you can see, there's some potato looking growth down here. So here's one that was growing. That's a fairly decent sweet potato. So I'm just going to tear into this. Well, it's interesting. Here, try to find out which vine. Or if you can see this, there's a red one here, and then the Beauregard's here. I'd like to find out which plant that red one is, because I really like those. So let me try to get the camera over here. So here is what I'm looking at. We've got this red potato here. Whoops. We've got this red potato here, and that's some fairly good sized potatoes in there. That's more than I was expecting. Not what I wanted, but more than I was expecting from the looks of it. As you can see, they're really easy to harvest, and we got a lot of these little ones. I think that the sweet potato plant is pretty smart, and it sends out roots, and it knows that it is in a limited size container, so it grows a limited amount of sweet potatoes and keeps the size proportional. But there's certainly a lot of them here. Okay, so there are there are actually a lot of potatoes in here. Most of them small, a lot of small ones. So it makes me wonder if I had planted fewer starts in here, if maybe it wouldn't have been so crowded, and I might have gotten some larger potatoes. So I got a lot of stuff to plant here. To replant. Also, maybe here's one with the deeply lobed leaves, and it appears to be one of the more conventional colored sweet potatoes. So that's interesting. Maybe I made a mistake. This is the one I'd like to identify the plant from because I like more of these. There's a nice big one. Okay, so here's the aftermath. There's the empty container over there, and the leaves and pile of dirt that are left, and there's still some small potatoes in there. Be able to get a lot of good potato starts out of that, even though I'm starting a little late this year. And then there's the pile of potatoes, and I can't call this anything other than a success. I'm very surprised. There you can see my snippers there, just to give you an idea of the size. How much potatoes is that? I don't know, 5 pounds, 6 pounds, something like that. Certainly way more than I was expecting. They were smaller, of course, than the ones that come out of the ground. But what am I taking away from this? Well, these little red ones seem to have the most problem gaining size. Okay, so I'm thinking they would do better in the ground. But these more conventional looking potatoes seem to have gained very good size. And let me find this one here. So this one, this type, it actually has these leaves on it, deeply lobed leaves, and so I think this one is the best one suited to the container, based on what I can see at this point. It's this variety that did the best. So I'm going to replant all these in containers. The others I think I will just leave in the ground. So that brings my self-watering container grown sweet potatoes experiment to an end, and I think it was very worthwhile, and I'm going to continue growing sweet potatoes in containers. They're very clean, they're very pest-free, and I like that. And they're easy to harvest too. Thanks for watching. This is Florida Beach Hunter on YouTube, growing good things to eat in Florida.